Yo, guys, I've got a big emergency situation, man. Big emergency situation. Arsenal, have they just absolutely bottled the league? They've drawn again. Oh my days, bro. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it, bro. Should have got beat as well, man.
The jaws are closing in. We told you a long time ago. The shark is circling and there's blood in the water. That shark is right on their feet right now. The jaws are opening up. They're getting wider and they're waiting to snap on Wednesday night. We said, don't give us an inch, we'll take a mile. That's a massive blow for Arsenal. We just want to focus on the league. Forget the Europa League. Forget the FA Cup, they said.
Forget it. Forget it.
One game a week will do. We have all week to focus on the Premier League. They said, that's great. City have Champions League. That's fine. Nah, I'm sorry. It don't work like that. Don't give us these chances. Do not give us these chances.
Bro, I can't believe what they've just done there. They've absolutely bottled it, bro. They've absolutely bottled it. You know, Southampton at home, they're bottom in the league. It's unbelievable. Erling Haaland's just tweeted, mood still. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe it.
Haaland is an absolute troll. He's such a funny guy, man.
Bro, this is mad, right? Because what this means is now, guys, for people that have not done the maths on this, what this actually means is that Man City now don't have to beat Arsenal at the Etihad on Wednesday, bro. A draw is good enough. And even if we get beat, which I don't think we will, I think we'll win. But even if we got beat, we'd only be a point behind them. And they still have to play Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton. Tonight's result is crucial in this Premier League race, bro. Crucial.
I'm going to be totally honest. I'll be disappointed if we don't beat this team. This Arsenal team right now are absolutely no great shake. They are no monster. They are not a patch on Klopp's Liverpool team that we rivaled over the years. We should be in their current form, beating them on Wednesday night. It's as simple as that. Their defense is there to be got at. I think we're a much better team than Southampton, with all due respect. We would be able to hold them out. Our defense should be able to hold them out. I'll be really, really disappointed if we don't win. But obviously, it's a game of massive stakes, so anything can happen. But based on form, we can't be not beating a team that's just drawn to West Ham and Southampton in the space of a week. And they had a week recovery.
But bro, yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. But what the thing is, yeah, it's the fact that we don't have to win now. I agree. I think we should win. I think we're better than them, and I'd be disappointed if we don't win. But the fact that we don't have to win, the fact that we can draw that game, and still win the league, that is just. I mean, bro. Apparently they were crying after the game. I've not seen it, but apparently the players were on the pitch crying. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw Reece Nelson and a few of the players standing on the pitch looking shell-shocked, and they should. I don't know, listen, did this vibe feed into the camp, to the players' camp, but the fans, man, the Arsenal fans, I know a lot of good Arsenal fans who are proper footballing people and they talk sense, but there is a whole lot of them. We're focusing on City, we're focusing on Newcastle, win those games and we'll win the league. You've just dropped 4 points to West Ham and Southampton. These title races don't work like that, I'm sorry. You cannot overlook anybody. Listen to us talk about game Leicester last week. We're all shitting ourselves. We know what way these title runs go. We know what problems teams can pose at this stage of the season. Just because you beat West Ham earlier on the season flawlessly, or Southampton earlier on the season flawlessly, does not mean you'll do it at the end of April. I'm sorry. It's a whole different complexion, and your head has to be screwed on differently. Like I've said all season, people, and there's so much footage of me saying this. It's one thing to beat Liverpool, United, or City in the middle of September. It's another thing to beat Southampton or West Ham at the end of April. Different pressure. It does different things to your mentality, and they're suffering from that right now. I feel they have not focused on this title race properly. Too many excuses, trying to cover over things. No Europa League, no FA Cup. Focus on these games to win the league. Sorry, mate. It don't work like that. You need elite monster mentality to win a Premier League. Every single game is a cup final. You respect your opponents enough to know, like a Southampton, like a West Ham, to know today they could take points off us. West Ham did it to us second last day of last season. Yeah. It's about respect.
But bro, this is what I've been saying, man. I've been saying this all season. I've been saying they've done the wrong thing. Arteta made a mistake in the FA Cup game against City, rotating his team. All Arsenal, not all of them to be fair, but a lot of Arsenal fans after that game were saying, we've done the right thing, we can focus on the league, City is still in it. I said, wrong. Because what you did in that FA Cup game is you handed the initiative to Manchester City. You let us beat her, and we went, when we beat you, shit, these are actually not actually that good. We can beat these. Mistake number one. Getting knocked out the Europa League, rotating your team. Mistake number two. Playing one game a week. I said this, bro. I said this as soon as they got knocked out at Europa League. I said, that's an L. Playing one game a week in this situation is not good, because every single day you're going to be thinking about the Premier League. Whereas, bro, I've not thought about the Premier League all week, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been thinking about Bayern Munich. We got the FA Cup tomorrow. I won't start thinking about the Premier League until Sunday, Monday. Whereas they'll already be thinking about Wednesday, because they've got no other competition. Else, when you're in this sort of running, you're in these title battles, you don't want to be thinking about things, man. You just want to be rolling with it. You just want to be going game, boom, boom, boom. They've made huge mistakes. And over the last 3 games, you know, I've always said, what did I say all season, bro? I've said all season, with every game that passes, the pressure will ramp up on Arsenal. And they have shown that in the last 3 games that they do not seem to be able to deal with that pressure. Now, there's still a long way to go, of course. And, you know, I'm not writing them off. You know what I mean? You'd be silly not to. City got to go and do our own thing now. But they are showing signs of weakness in this title running. And it's just a crazy situation. The fact that they bottled it against Arsenal. I heard Don Robbie, bro, on the AFTV said they didn't bottle it against West Ham. They did bottle it against West Ham. You 2-0 up in a title race and you bottled it. You bottled it tonight, and we've got an FA Cup game tomorrow. We're not even thinking about the league. We're just laughing at you. We're playing Sheffield United tomorrow. We're going to have a nice time in the FA Cup. We're having a great time. Thinking about potentially getting to an FA Cup final with, you know, have a good time tomorrow, play against Sheffield United. Big up. We're not even thinking about the league. Whereas you guys are already thinking about next Wednesday. You're already thinking about how this has impacted your season and how it's possible you've thrown this away. Unbelievable.
Bro, I think they were thinking about Wednesday before tonight's game. I think they were thinking about like tonight will be a formality. We'll walk over Southampton and into the biggest game of the season we go. Unfortunately, it just don't work like that. Let me tell you this.
Nah.
By the time we get to Wednesday, it'll have been close to a month, about three and a bit weeks since Arsenal last won a game of football. In the meantime, we've won 4, 5, and 6. We've been beating teams
Mm,
twice a week since then. I know
mm,
what camp I'd rather be in. I know what position I'd rather be in. I couldn't believe the arrogance when they were knocked out of the cup competitions to us at our
mm,
hands as well. It doesn't matter. We put out our B team. That's a different conversation in its own right. We beat them. Psychological blow number 1. Knocked out of Europa League. Psychological blow number 2. We beat you in your own place. Psychological blow number 3. We've stayed in all competitions. Obviously not Carabao Cup, but all 3 of the remaining competitions. We've stayed in them all, and we've steamrolled teams the last few weeks. I know we
yeah.
drew in Bayern. We beat them 4-1 on aggregate. A European
Mm,
giant, and you're falling at the hands of West Ham and Southampton. I have nothing but respect for every single team in the league at this stage of the season because I
mm,
know what it feels like. I know relegation, title battle, top 4, everyone's fighting for something. No result is a formality in April or May. I'll die on that hill. Don't
yeah.
overlook anybody. I think they've done that. That's inexperience on their part. That's inexperience. That's them
Yeah.
not knowing what it feels like to run neck and neck with Manchester City. Liverpool told them. I've done
Mm,
shows with Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans, and the Liverpool fans said to them, "You don't know, man. You don't know what this stage of the season is like." And they're,
mm-hmm.
we'll focus on Newcastle, we'll focus on this and that, and we'll win the league. I'm sorry. It don't work like that.
Mm. No, I agree. Let me go through some super chats. Before we do, big up to the guys at Manscaped, man, for sponsoring today's stream. You guys can get 20% off your order and free international shipping using code XTRA20, XTRA20 at manscaped.com, man. So go check it out if you've not done so already. Right, got some super chats here. I can bring some of them up on screen. I can't bring them all up though because StreamYard's been a bit weird. I'm not sure why. Big up Joe Griffiths with the 2 says, I bet Didsbury Dave's going to be streaming tonight. Oh, steaming tonight. I thought he started Twitch or YouTube or something. Big up Joe. Sam McCoy with a 27 months says, beat them on Wednesday and that should be it. Their next 3 games after us are not nice. Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton. Come on, City. Well, I'll come on to that in a second, Sam, but I think you're onto something there, bro. Big up to Benno with the 199 says, anyway, off to Wembley in the morning. Peace out. Yes, Benno. Thanks for the super chat, bro. Who else we got here? We got James Gordon with the 2 says, huge result. Even more gas for the game. Yes, James. Big up. Callum with the 2 says, the Blue Shark is coming. Come on, City with the 2. Channel with the 10 says, letting go of Lavia was a crime. Great position now. Even a draw in the league is still in our hands. Yo, I don't know what that manager was doing, though. Taking off Lavia. Why you take Lavia off for?
And I didn't even watch the first half, man. I didn't even watch most of the game. I refused to watch Arsenal in these title runnings. I was the same at Liverpool. They took off the other guy. Their main, is it Alcaraz? Their main attacking outlet as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Listen, at this stage, I don't care. They took a point. They took 2 points off them.
Big up to Obeyed. He says, I've been summoned and then comes in, bro. Can you believe this, bro? With 100 gifted memberships for the stream, bro.
Wow, man.
That
Is there a siren? Have you got a soundboard or anything to give something? Give him some.
I downloaded the wrong one, man. This was meant to be like a nuclear alarm. Got the wrong one in it. I downloaded the police instead of the alarm. So I've not got the siren. I've only got the police, man. So that was a bit of a rip. I really wanted to start the stream with a siren, but yo, Obeyed, man. 100 gifted. Thank you, bro. You know what it is. Thank you very much for the support. And he says, I'm not crying. You are. Hashtag bottlers. Tinsay with the 5 says, can't believe they actually bottled that game. They had a 2-goal lead. From Tinsay, bro, I know it's annoying, but just be happy that they got the draw, man. Because I'm telling you, with 8 minutes added time at the end, I was waiting for the goal for Arsenal. So I know it's frustrating. They should have won the game, Southampton, and that might cost them. You know what I mean? Because if they won tonight, they're straight back in the race. But ultimately, for us, let's just take the point. Let's not get too greedy in it. We got Akil with the 4 months says, when we lost to Spurs, I told you we are not finished and we will come back. That even LB was upset. We have faith in our team. Come on, City from Akil. Yahir with the 19 months says, Jesus has the biggest XG underperformance. We tried to warn them about him, didn't we? Well, I'm sorry, but you bang on, bro, because tonight he had a massive chance. And he put it over the bar. And I'm sorry, but that's why he sold him. That's why he's not a Manchester City player anymore. Because when it comes to the big moments The big chances, he didn't deliver. I've got nothing against him. I think he's a good footballer. Respect him as a person. Would never boo him. If I seen him in the street, I'd say, how you doing, pal? You know what I mean? Thanks for your service at Manchester City. But the fact of the matter is, and I tried telling Arsenal fans this, there will come a time in the season where you'll be under pressure and you need a striker to put the ball in the back of the net, and he's not that guy. Faizan, big up Faizan. Thank you for joining the Xtra Club, bro. Appreciate the support there, lad. What else we got here? We got Martin Collar for the 5 months, says getting the tissues out for AFTV today. Dave Rocky with the 10 says got some questions. We need to be asked about these referees. Adding 8 minutes at the end is criminal. It's like the refs are saying we will blow the whistle until Arsenal scores. If it was City, no way it'd be 8 minutes. It certainly feels that way, Dave. 100% it certainly feels that way. I know a lot of people in the chat. I was doing a Twitch stream at the time, and everyone in the chat was like, how the fuck is it 8 minutes, man? Like, bizarre, but, you know, they're trying to make a spectacle out of the game. Ben Gall says...
This is what we're up against. It was the exact same in Liverpool, and it just makes your title win, please God, if it comes that bit sweeter.
Ben Gall says, why am I more scared of that Brentford game than Arsenal? Big up Wolbade for the membership. They're all tough, bro. They're all tough. And like Hugh was just saying a minute ago, let's respect every single team we're playing. When we're playing Leeds next week or whatever, or Fulham, I want us to go into that game. I want every single person in this stream to go into that game acting like it's a cup final. I don't want no one in the stream saying, easy game, these are shit. No, that stops now. We go into that Fulham game. Obviously, we get past Sheffield United tomorrow. We get past Arsenal. And then we go into Fulham. We go into Leeds. We go into these games. And we go into that game like it's a Champions League final. And we fully respect. And that's what we got to be doing, man. We can't be going into them games, man, thinking this is going to be easy. Otherwise, you end up like tonight. Big up to Ahmed says that Arsenal don't have the leaders in the team, and it's obvious. MCFC Solo says we must win the league. Andersul. Oh, and UCL. Andersul. Bro, I thought it said Andersul. It says and UCL. Remain humble. We move. 100%, bro. Obeyed again says, love you all. I'm overwhelmed. Bro, it's a madness. It's popping off. Midnight says Lavia over Phillips. I still don't understand why that manager took Lavia off tonight, man. That seems bizarre to me. It's no surprise that they conceded 2 when he went off. MCFC Joe with the 28 months says Arsenal the only title contenders to be in front of the league and the league not be in their hands. Come on, you Blues, from MCFC Joe. GTA player has just become an Xtra Club member. Appreciate the support, GTA. Last couple here, guys. Diego Valdez with the 27 months says live stream challenge. Take a shot every time Arsenal players get in a huddle on Wednesday. Mate, they do love a huddle. They do love a huddle.
So do we.
Yeah, we do, to be fair. Yeah, but they do it like fucking 5 times in the game, bro. Every time the ball goes out of play.
You can overkill, man. It loses its effect. It loses its significance if you do it too often. Like Ruben Diaz did it once last week when we beat Bayern 3-0. I think it was after the second or third goal went in. Just once, just to remind the players, I'm only going to tell you once. Keep your shit together. Do not let this slip. If you're doing it after every break and play, it kind of loses its sort of, goosebump feeling or mentality aspect of it. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Obeyed says, Army, like the stream. Guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream if you have not done so already. Big up to Sergio with a 1 says, Arsenal fans think they can get a draw at the Etihad. We ain't no Southampton. We just battered at Bayern Munich 4-1 in the Champions League. Well, the problem is, Sergio, they need a win. They need a win.
Let them have a draw. Let them have a draw.
If we get a draw.
If a draw is what they take, happy days.
If we get a draw, then it's in our hands. And their games after that is Newcastle, Chelsea, and Brighton. And we've got Leeds, Fulham, and someone else. Again, I respect the teams. I'm going into them thinking, boom, this is a big game and we've got to win. But, in terms of who you ever played, there's only one answer, right? A big up to Rachel, says Athletic Duncan Alexander. Gabriel Jesus now has the biggest XG underperformance in the Premier League this season. 9 goals from a 13.3 XG. Well, you know what, Rachel? Can fully understand that. And not surprising, because that's what he's about. Off Meta with a 2 says Arsenal need 2 late goals to draw at home. Insane. And then he says AFT about to re-enter its prime. And AB with the final one says get New York City on the channel, bro. He's a top boy. Yes, AB. I'll look into it, bro. Bro, this is a madness. I want to get the Premier League table up, man, so people can see what this has done to the Premier League table, because it has. We're making moves now, man. We're making moves. So if I get this up here, so Arsenal got 6 games left, right? We've got 8. So we've got 2 games in hand on them. So if we win both of our games in hand, we go to 76 points. So we go ahead of Arsenal in the league if we win our games in hand. But we've got to beat Arsenal. We've got to play Arsenal anyway. So if City beat Arsenal on Wednesday, we go to 73 points, 2 points behind Arsenal, and we have 2 games in hand.
I just don't see Arsenal winning every single game after us either. I just don't. I don't
agree.
see them. I have a funny feeling it's a draw or a loss for Arsenal at Newcastle. And I think with the way it's gone, any other team in the league that they're playing left will feel they can get something off Arsenal. I really feel like that. They don't give me that same fear factor that Klopp's Liverpool did. They just don't right now. And
yeah,
I don't know, man.
And that's what I've said all season, man. I remember like when I've filled in for you on the Big Six or something, I'm on there, you know what I mean? I'm talking to the boys and I'm saying, this is not Liverpool we're up against. This is not the mentality monsters. This is not a team that will get to 99 points. And I even remember when I went on for you in January, bro. I don't know where you must have been at a game or something. I went for you in January. It was when Arsenal, right? I'd only drawn 2 and lost 1. And we had drawn 3 and lost 3, I think. I remember saying, listen, Arsenal are not going to keep this up in the second half of the season, and Manchester City will improve. The question mark is here, and I was saying this back in January, is will City improve enough and will Arsenal drop off enough? And the answer so far has been yes. You know, I agree with you, bro. Regardless of what happens on Wednesday, I do not see them beating Chelsea, Newcastle, and Brighton. I don't see them beating all 3 of them teams. I think they'll drop points in at least one of them.
You know what? I learned a lot about their team tonight. Like I said, I only watched the last sort of 15 minutes, and with how frantic it got, I couldn't believe some of their leaders in the pitch, some of the decisions they were making. I think that Thomas Partey pot shot from about 30 yards, I just thought that was outrageous. I was like, what the hell is he doing? I think that's inexperience. I know we've had Vinny Company do that before and it came off, and that's just a 1 in a million moment. But I just don't think you do that. I don't think a top player should be doing that in that situation. I think if we're in that situation, we play like the way we did against Aston Villa, with the way Kevin De Bruyne set up that winning goal. We play, we pass, we pick our moment. I don't think you start shooting from 30 yards out. I just think our experience is what's coming. It's prevailing right now. It's what's prevailing. I don't think we would have dropped those points, man. I think we should be going on to win this league. And I'm saying this now for the first time this season. We should win the league. I've always said this season we can win the league. We could win the league. I believe we will. But we should now at this stage. That's the word I'm using now.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I think for us now, the main thing for us is we need to stay calm, because everyone's getting gassed and that. But like as the team needs to stay calm, because ultimately they still have the points on the board, and all we have is games to play. We are not guaranteed wins. You know, we got tricky games, so we just need to approach every game one at a time. Wednesday now becomes absolutely huge because we don't have to win. But if you win that game, you could argue it's curtains.
I was literally about to ask you that, and I want to ask that. You put a poll up. Should we beat Arsenal Wednesday? Do you feel at that stage we've won it? Like it's curtains?
Well, let's get the league table up again, bro. So if we win, we got 73 points, right? Played 31. Arsenal stay on 75. Played 33, right? So the 33. What's 38 take 38 take 33 5 times by 3? They can get 15 points, right? So the most points they could possibly get is 90. Right, so we need to get, and we've got superior goal difference. So we'll be on 73, 90, take 73. What a maths. 7. So we need 17 points from 7 games. So how many wins is that?
17.
5 wins.
6.
We need 6 wins. But obviously that's if Arsenal win every single game. That's if Arsenal win every single game, which I don't think
I think we beat them on Wednesday. We have one hand on the trophy as far as I'm concerned. One hand. It'll take a big bottle job to not win it at that stage.
I agree, man. So this is just a crazy situation because, of course, I don't think Arsenal will win every game. I don't think Arsenal are beating Newcastle. I don't think they're beating Newcastle, Chelsea, and Brighton. I really don't see it, man.
What I will say is, just to be calm myself down a bit, if they beat us in the Etihad on Wednesday, I think that could kick them on, and potentially they find that spark they need to go on and possibly win every game. But if we beat them, I'm not going to call it the final nail because it's nowhere near the final nail, but it's definitely a nail in their coffin. That'll be 4 games in a row without a win. That is not title winning form. That's far from title winning form at this stage of the season.
Yo, I drafted someone in, man. I drafted someone in. I'm going to put him in the stream, yeah? But people, I need you to spam this guy's face emoji in the chat because he's not even in Manchester, bro. We're bringing him in. This guy, yo, Big Steve, man. What are you saying?
I told you, didn't I, that was going to crumble. I'm even in Eindhoven. They've even crumbled when I'm in Eindhoven.
I know, bro.
The baby sharks in the water. There's loads of shark meat in the water now. Wednesday night's the shark tank. You know what I mean? It's full of slime, everything. These PSV guys, don't wave at me, mate. We're going to win the Premier League, mate. Mate, listen. It'll be 1 point gained for them. That's what they'll say. 1 point gained. We just got to keep going every step of the way, one game at a time. And listen, we're in a fantastic position now. We just got to get tomorrow out of the way, and Wednesday night, it's going to be a big one, boys, isn't it?
Yeah. Yo, big up, Steve, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
No problem. See you later, boys.
See you in a bit. Yo, that guy, yeah, he's on a business trip, and he's not even in the country. I sent him a text, bro. I sent him the link. I put, get on now. He thought, I can't. I'm in Eindhoven. I put, fuck it, bro. Get on now. And he still come on. So we'd look at the dedication from Steve there, man, coming on there as well. That's a bit of a madness, you know. That's a bit of a madness. Big up, Steve. I can't believe it, bro. I can't believe they've dropped points again.
I know, man. We just need to keep our heads. And it's an as you were situation. We keep doing our thing, man. We keep moving forward. Each game, like I said, showing respect. Champions League finals twice a week. We know what we have to do, man. The path is there for us. It's set out in stone. We know exactly what we have to do. Let them keep wobbling and falling over and getting back up and telling themselves, like he said, 1 point gain, coming from 2 behind to get a point. I'm sorry. That doesn't give you trophies, man. 1 point gained here and there doesn't give you trophies. We know we have to do.
And bro, they've dropped points in games that they shouldn't have dropped points in. I said at the time in the Liverpool game, they should have won the game because they were 2-0 up. But I accept it. You're at Anfield. That can happen 21. You know, we've been roasted there. It happens. West Ham, that was a bottle job. I don't care what anyone else says. They bottled it. They were 2-0 up. They bottled it. Tonight, I don't even know what you can call tonight, bro. I don't even know what word you used to because they didn't bottle it because they were down. They were losing 3-1. But I don't know how you just.
It's a crumbling.
They crumbled. Yeah, that's actually right. They crumbled, isn't it?
It's you know if you have an apple pie and you break the whole thing and it crumbles down into pieces. This is like the edges of the apple pie have just fallen off. It's just starting to crumble. There's bits of it dismantling, falling off. Like their confidence must be at an all-time low for the season. Players, fans, manager, everybody. Before this, after the last international break, I did a show with a load of Arsenal fans. Big up them. They're good guys. And they looked at the fixture list they have coming up and they said, we identified this, and this game coming up. And these are the games that we need to win. These 2 games, they both dropped points in now. We're not on the list of games they identified. And they've dropped points now. Tough times, man. Difficult conversations. Big up MCFC, lads in the building.
Come on! Oh my God. What just happened?
They crumbled.
Mate, I was on the floor. I was on the floor in the living room. That end of the game as well, they had 8 minutes to score on. I'm telling you now, if you spawned in Manchester City in that situation, we score a goal and they didn't score one. So there you go.
I mean, you know what it is, yeah? I mean, it's. I mean, there was apparently the play. I've still not seen it, but apparently some of the players were crying after the game on the pitch.
Really?
Yeah, I've not seen it, but like load of different people were sending me messages saying players are crying on the pitch. So they know that they have just potentially blown it. And the lads, I was just telling you, you've probably seen it already, but we don't even have to win the game on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. That's the biggest thing for me because Arsenal needed a result. Gary Neville was saying before the game, they need a result. They need to rock up and draw at the Etihad. And sometimes I do think we can win the game. I have full faith, but
me too.
A draw's not that far-fetched at all. It's not
like... Well, what it does, lads...
Not out of the question, is it?
What I like about it now is, as soon as that game starts, that result is fine.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love being in that position of I kind of like knowing what I have to do and liking to win, because I don't like being in a stick or twist situation. But City will play the same way against Arsenal on Wednesday, regardless of what would have happened tonight. But in terms of pure result, as soon as that game kicks off, we all know that result is fine. And if we get that result, we take it, win our 2 games in hand, boom, we're above them. But of course, I think we'll win the game. I think we can win the game. And, you know, I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. And obviously, Arsenal, I think Arteta's got a lot to play here. I think he's made some huge mistakes. FA Cup, rotated against Manchester City. I know that was a few months ago now. I think that was an absolutely criminal decision. One that gave us the incentive because we'd not played him at that point. And we're in a situation where we didn't really know how good they were. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really know. Yeah, 1 second. Let me bring in Saeed, man. Let me bring in Saeed. Yo, Saeed.
Who invited this guy?
I invited him on, man. I invited him on, bro. Saeed, what are you saying?
What's this guy doing here?
Listen, man. My fears are coming. Guys. Man.
We're gonna win the treble, man. We're gonna win the treble, bro.
Three-peat.
Arsenal. Listen, Arsenal, man. You've got to redeem yourselves. Wednesday. One last chance. This is the last chance, man. Bro, what is this game, man? How did he bottle it against Southampton? What the flip, man?
Pressure, bro. Pressure. You know it. I can see the worry in your face, bro. You know the treble is happening.
Bro, listen. Obviously, Hala Madrid. Who knows that? I put it on his comment. You know what I'm saying? This Premier League's wrapped up, man. Deep down, tighter pressure, man. They can't hack it, man. Man City been there, done it, man. These Arsenal players, what is Zinchenko doing? Now, seriously, Pep Guardiola sees something in Zinchenko because he is the weak link now. He's the weak link. I don't know what he's doing.
Jesus missing that chance as well. I saw him sky one at one point as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why he's not there. But listen, man, I think for me, you guys have got it. FA Cup, you probably got that because I think we're getting beat by Brighton. And then it's just left to Hala Madrid again to do the pieces again. It's like, what the flip, man? But now, listen, enjoy yourselves. Arsenal, please, just don't do that. Just basically get something at that ground. That's all you got to do. But listen,
a draw's not even enough, though, Saeed. A draw's not even enough for them.
Exactly, a draw's not even enough, but I just want to galvanise them a little bit. You know, give them a bit of momentum. You know what I mean? But listen, big up the chat, man. Big up to you, love, man.
Eid Mubarak, bro.
Up, man.
Peace out, man. Yo, that's our madness. Saeed is getting nervous, man. United fans twitching. Not only are we about to do the 3-peat, we could even be doing the treble. Everyone is panicking. Arsenal fans are panicking. United fans are panicking. And we're just sat here loving it, man. Loving it.
And
hey, yo, you know...
The 3-peat, man. 3 Premier Leagues in a row.
Yeah. Their records are going. Yeah, it is something, yeah. And I've said this a long time as well. I've said this a long time about Zinchenko. Is that I think he's actually been part of the problem in the last couple of months. I've seen games, right, where I believe as a fan, me personally, as someone who's watched football, right, that in certain games they needed calm heads, not passion merchants. And what they've actually got is he's running around giving a passion. And I don't get me wrong, I love it, and I'm not slating him. But what I'm trying to say is I think they've been getting the wrong type of vibe in the games. I think what they've needed is cool, calm heads. You know, like when they went 3-1 down, they went in a huddle. I understand getting in a huddle at that point, yeah, because you obviously your season's fucking unfolding in front of you. But like it was all very like, come on, like we got to sort this out. You know what I mean? And I just think in them sort of situations, you need someone to go, yo, everyone, take a fucking chill, relax, and let's go again. And I think too many games, they've been too passionate and like too passion merchant. I don't know, man.
Yeah, KDB, when we played Villa last season, we're 2-0 down. It's like 70 minutes in, whatever, 70 plus minutes in. And he literally just got on his knees and tied his shoelaces. That's all it needed. Yeah. Just sort of got down. You've seen the picture before. He's there. And he just sort of, from that moment, anyone watching on TV, it just seemed like that moment was the turning point. Do you know what I mean? It's a weird one. He's tied his shoelaces. He's not done anything. But he's not there pushing people and screaming in the ref's face. Zinchenko's lost his head a few times this season.
I always reference the moment where Fernandinho grabbed Zinchenko by the collar and said, "This is not the time. Calm down."
Against PSG,
Arsenal don't have someone like that, man. They don't have someone like that. You remember it, chat. You all remember it. Was it PSG? Zinchenko completely losing his head at a time we did not need players getting frantic. Fernandinho, proper captain, proper leader, experienced player, goes over and says, "Calm the hell down. We don't need you doing this right now. We don't need players losing the head." Nobody at Arsenal is going to do that to Alexander Zinchenko, and that's a bad thing. You need someone to go over to a passion player like him. I like passion players, but you need to know when to tell them to back a little bit.
One of the reasons that is, though, Hugh, is that they've got one of the youngest squads in the league. I think it might actually be the youngest squad in the league.
It's Southampton and Arsenal are two.
Well, there you go then. And I think you're starting to see that inexperience shine through. I mean, they've got Gabby Jesus as one of the most experienced players. He's still pretty young, isn't he, Gabby Jesus? He's still in like mid-20s. He's not like 28, 29. I'm pretty sure he's still a lot younger than that. So I think you're starting now to see that inexperience come through. And, you know, the problem is now, how do they get back on track? I mean, I you know what's funny is City's probably the perfect game for them. I genuinely think that. You know, I don't think they want to be playing these guys down the bottom of the table where it's a tight game and they've got to try and break. I think what is actually best now for Arsenal, genuinely, is just a straight out shootout with Manchester City now and say, go and beat Manchester City. You win the game. It's back on. I mean, I genuinely think that's probably one of the best things for them. But I don't think they're going to do it. I think City will beat them on Wednesday. I felt we were going to beat them. What is it, 11 Premier League wins in a row against Arsenal now?
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
We're cooking. We're cooking, boys. Honestly, it's a madness. Joe, I got a couple of super chats. Let me go through some of these.
I've seen Obey dropping like 50 bombs in the chat, LB. Like, mate,
it's unbelievable support, bro. He's dropped another 60 as well. Unbelievable support, man. Unbelievable support from Obaid. Big up. He says, my goat with the super chat as well. And then he says, Dr. Footy is dating Obaid. Change the name, CEO rule. There you go, Dr. Footy. You're in prison, bro. Big up Obaid, man. Big support of the channel. And massive respect. Linny with the 4 months says, Arsenal are fragile. You can see the cracks. They are fragile, but they're fragile because they're a young team. So when things go slightly wrong, they start shitting themselves. And this all started, by the way, I don't think it started at Anfield. It started at West Ham when they were 2-0 up. And they had, I said this again, they had 2 roads in front of them when they were 2-0 up. They had this road, which was the, let's go and get that 3rd goal. Let's go killer mentality, kill the game off. And then they had the other road, which was, 2-0 up here. We're 2-0 up last week. What should we do here? And they started doing weird shit. Started getting a little bit complacent, didn't attack Thomas Partey, started being pure weird. You know what I mean? Started doing proper weird shit, like instead of clearing the ball, you know what I mean? And now today, wow, they have just completely crumbled. And they will be sat in that dressing room thinking to themselves, how on earth have we let that go? And you know what? What was you telling me, Hugh? Was it you or was it Jordan? Someone was telling me the other day that someone knows Mikel Antonio said that he speaks to someone at Arsenal.
Quite a difference between Jordy and Mikel Antonio, to be fair. But
I meant Hugh, innit? I meant Hugh. Mikel Antonio said he knows someone at Arsenal, and he said all season Arsenal players have just been speaking about themselves, speaking about the league, and then in the last 2 weeks, he said that these Arsenal guys said Arsenal players are non-stop talking about City players. We're in the heads. We're living rent-free. And as Hugh did the shark thing at the beginning, they know the sharks are coming. The blood has been spilled. And we can smell. We can smell it, man. We're coming for a minute. 100%. Big up Joseph Lee with the 3 months says, well, Bade. Farhad says it was not a game. It was a battle. Lavia is a robot. Well, I'm telling you what, there's going to be a lot of people saying get Lavia. What are you saying, lads? You bring Lavia back?
Bit early for me. 2024 is like
next season. Next season.
So yeah, we'll give him next season. See how he does that. I think.
Okay, actually, I got a question for you. So what about Chelsea? Say Lavia this season.
How much depends really.
60 million. It's not going to be more than 60 million. They're going to get relegated probably, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure yet. He is 20th in the league at the end of the day, but he is a good player. Do you know what I mean? It's not on him, but they've got a young team, haven't they? Thought Bazunu was good with the shithousery today. I love that time wasting out. Yeah, love that.
Big up Christian said the Arsenal game is no longer a must-win game. Correct. Although some people will be saying it is a must-win game because if you win the game, do you win the league?
Not quite. LB, it's the exact same situation as we had against Liverpool last year. This exact stage as well. It's kind of the end towards the end of April, and we're effectively, if we win the games in hand, I'm pretty sure we're 1 point ahead. Is that right?
If we win the games in hand, yeah. So if we win the games in hand, we're 1 point ahead. But then obviously,
we played Liverpool at the Etihad, and it was 2-2 in the end. But it was the exact same situation. We're effectively 1 point ahead. If we can win the games in hand, we're not going to take them for granted. But we are effectively 1 point better off if we do, and we've got to play Arsenal at home. So we've been in this exact situation we've been here last year.
Yeah. Big up Millsy with the 5 says, did you see Haaland's tweet after the Arsenal game saying mood still? Have you seen it, boys?
Yeah.
Nah, I've not seen it.
The training pictures and stuff in it, and he's taking a mic.
Yeah, I'll get it up on screen now. Yeah, I'll get it up now, bro. Erling Haaland. Let me get it up for you. Erling Haaland. Here we go. Let me go on, share this tab instead. Whack that on the screen. Boom. He loves it, man. He loves it, innit?
He speaks for all of us. He's our spokesman.
He does, man.
LB, what are your thoughts on MCSC lads with 3-0 on the let him cook? Have you seen that? I dropped a let him cook meme on when it was a Liverpool game at 2-1. I dropped it today and on the West Ham game. 3-3.
Okay.
I gotta be careful with it, mate. But you know the little Toy Story.
Yeah. So you're putting it out at certain times.
Yeah, I put it out as Salah scored in the 2-1, so 2-2, and then today it was risky. I put it out in the first minute today. So, I mean, we'll take it. Yeah, it's yet to backfire. It nearly did today. It hit the bar, but
yeah, I know. The fucking hell, mate. I wasn't because I had the game on my iPad, so I was watching it on the internet. So I was behind, right? And fucking, I was on Twitch. I was streaming on Twitch, and so I was my game. I was looking at the chat. And that's how I was like.
You get all the betas as well dropping like.
Yeah, I know. I had the betas in there, but like, mate, that added time was a farce.
8 minutes and he played 11, mate. Like what?
It's just they were just begging it. They were just absolutely begging it, and I just feel like sometimes you just feel that the Premier League not necessarily tell the referees, but maybe they say something that ought to influence them subconsciously. Because how are you giving 8 minutes and then playing 11? How is that a thing, bro?
They played 5 in the first half as well. I've never seen City get more than 2. Like there's literally people like dying on the pitch before, like players rolling around getting stretched off, and I've seen like 2 or 3 minutes. It's ridiculous.
It's right, man. A big up Varzi with a super chat says City winning the treble. GG. I love this club. Well, I tell you what, man. The confidence levels in the trebles right now are they're for me they're the highest probably they've ever been, because you should be beating Sheffield United tomorrow. It should be. Now, I am actually worried about tomorrow because he's going to rotate the fuck out of the team. And whilst that team will probably still be better than Sheffield United, it's going to be players who haven't played a lot of minutes. They've probably not played together for a very long time. And I am worried. And evidence in the past in this stage of the competition tells me to be worried in it, because we often do pretty crap at this stage. But
they're going to be physical. They're so dirty, man. I went to watch when they played Spurs. They're just so dirty. Like they're just constantly up you. Like it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Got to get ready for a lot of fouls coming in.
Yeah. Obeid's then come in with another 70 gifted, man. 70. What the hell? What the hell?
Jesus Christ.
He's going ham. He's going ham tonight. Big up Obeid, man. Coming in with the 70, bro.
I'd love to see Obeid's bank statement.
In it?
This guy.
I swear down, one day YouTube are going to ring me and they're going to be like, yo, we need to have a conversation, man. We think you're doing some dodgy shit. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. Money laundering going on here.
I know. Big up to Clinical as well. Says big up guys, still laser focused on our game tomorrow. Also, Hugh, I sent you a message on Instagram regarding the New York trip with the Big Six. That's from Clinical, by the way, bro.
I'll look after the team.
Yeah, laser focused on tomorrow. I 100% agree. That's our focus now, and this is why it's great to be in 3 competitions, because they're already thinking about Premier League. We got another game tomorrow. You know what I mean? And I said it at the time. Playing 1 game a week in a title running is dead. It's dead. Even if you win, boys. Because if you win the game, then automatically the next game focuses on the next week, and you got a whole week to wait. I just don't think that's good for you.
Sit there sweating, LB. We said it against West Ham at the weekend, and I said they're sitting here sweating. They'll watch us go through against Bayern, and you said they've got to watch out because not only are they watching us win, and they're waiting for our results, but you called it the Southampton game. They probably took that for granted. They thought we'll win that, focus on the City game. They've dropped points, so that's all of a sudden the City game is so much less effective. Even if they were to beat us now, they're still only 1 point ahead of us. That is
correct.
It's not a good position to be in because winning for them would be enormous. And personally, I don't think it'll happen. But even if it did, they were talking about, I saw Don Robbie in after the game basically saying, it was a few weeks ago, he was basically saying they could be like 11 points clear by the time this game was played. They're effectively going to be, what is it now? 5 points?
5 points. We got 2 games in hand.
And we've got 2 games in hand. So 11 points, 6 of them evaporated.
And this is the thing as well. What you just said, bro. Even if they beat us on Wednesday, which I don't think they will, I think we'll actually win the game. But even if they beat us, they're only 1 point in front of us if we win our 2 games in hand. And they've still got to play Newcastle, Chelsea, Brighton, you know.
Well, it's the only kind of tough fixture they've used up is Liverpool away, and they dropped points there. And then since then, it's been a crumble. Like I don't think City dropped points in the two games they've just had. Anfield's a different story. You could accept that they draw at Anfield, and we had a lot more hope because all of a sudden it is kind of back in our hands. But even then, they've still got a massive advantage, and 2 draws in a row is just shambolic.
So that's what I was saying. I think those 2 fixtures they cannot be dropping points in. They were 2 like certain wins you have to chalk off if you want to win this league. That's the way I looked at it. They weren't the games.
Maybe not the West Ham game, but people were pretty much giving them 3 points for this. It was already kind of talk of let's go into the City game 7 points ahead, and suddenly it's 5, and it could have been 11.
That's the mistake they made, man. You can't start nitpicking games in the title run and saying these are the only ones we're concerned about. These are the only ones we're worried about. Yeah. Like I said, man, going into Wednesday, you're talking 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks since they've last won a game of football. You tell me they feel like title winners. Do they feel like the impenetrable team they did back in November?
And it's not just that; it's the goals they're conceding as well. They've not lost any of the last 3 games, but they conceded 2 against Liverpool. Fair enough. You can kind of just sweep that under the carpet a little bit, but West Ham, they're 2-0 up after 10 minutes. That is just to not win that game is just shocking. Yeah. And they had the same situation last year. They just start leaking goals. Ramsdale's a good keeper. Tonight he wasn't very good. The West Ham game was decent. Anfield is very good, to be fair. But you just got to look. They're leaking goals. They've conceded 7 goals in 3 games. That is just, it's shocking. And
obviously Saliba, he's obviously been a big miss for them. You know, not just because you know he's better than Holding, but he affects the team. And you know, I was watching an AFTV video this morning actually about Saliba, and apparently they reckon that they're going to risk him against City on Wednesday. But by doing that, it could end his season. But
could backfire.
But they're that desperate. But what do you do, lads? You carry on with this, or do you risk it?
I don't think it works.
We've won leagues with Laporte taking painkilling injections. Diaz nowhere to be seen. Fernandinho playing right back. You know, like these are the adversities you have to overcome if you want to win the big trophies. You can't say because one guy has got injured, our whole deck of cards has collapsed, and we can't win the league. That's not good.
With these kind of injuries, though, you're either ready or you're not. There's no the only middle ground you can get when somebody's been training a few days and it's like, is he quite match fit? But if somebody's not played and they've not even trained, like there's no way. If he starts a game against City, there's no way he gets past 15 minutes in. I don't see it, to be fair.
What's his injury? What's he got?
Back injury.
Yeah.
Back injury, but he didn't play today, and
it's one Bosch from Haaland, just sort of one of them. Not even a card, just a bit of a push and he's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Go on.
You can't be playing against
let me reverse the situation. If this was Ruben Diaz or Erling Haaland in the exact same situation, would you be saying risking him against Arsenal?
No. We wouldn't even be discussing it. We'd be saying Diaz is out. What are the options?
But to be fair, we do have a bit of a better depth in that position than them.
Yeah.
But
I love that video, Angie, man.
All right, if it's Rodri, and your option is risk Rodri or play Calvin Phillips.
I don't think you risk Rodri because I mean for us we've got so much line in the rest of the season. So if you kind of narrowed it down and said we're just in the Prem, I think you'd play Calvin Phillips. You got to trust the players that you can't be starting a guy that's injured. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Guys, by the way, you've not got one of these gifted memberships because Professional Idiots just gifted 5 memberships to the chat, by the way. If you click the present at the top of the chat, it should say opt in. You need to make sure you're opt in to receive one.
What happens if you get more gifted than like there's actually in the stream?
It refunds the rest back.
Really?
To yeah.
Get some bot accounts in.
So you've got to opt in, guys. You got to get active in the chat, and you got to opt in. That's according to YouTube. Big up Professional Idiot with the 5, and obviously obeyed for however the fuck many you donated today. JV says VJS HV to beat Arsenal. I think he might be drunk, but you think he's talking about
Have to beat Arsenal.
We have to beat Arsenal. Only W talks plus nothing less. JV's defo been on the sauce tonight. Big up Jay. Amar says they should have lost all 3. What the hell is up with added time they keep getting? Today against Saints and previously Bournemouth. Never for us. We spoke about this, bro, and like I say, for me, I just think the referees are trying to make it happen. And I don't know whether they're just getting caught in the emotion of the game. Because I've been a referee, right? And I can tell you now when I refereed, and obviously I only refereed like, standard fucking games, you know what I mean? Down on a Sunday, you know what I mean? Nothing major. But you do get involved in emotions, and sometimes you'll be like, oh, I want this team to win the fucking game. So you will not make fucking dodgy decisions, but you will naturally favour them, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I did that as a ref. Do Premier League referees do it? Because there's no way that you can play 11 minutes injury time. There was not 11 minutes worth of injury time today. It's just not. So
there's going to be some like random 22-year-old guy that lost a cup final now, like baying for you. You give a pen against him in the last minute.
Yeah.
Corrupt B.
Corrupt B. LB the rigged ref.
LB's out here exposing referees.
I know, yeah. I'm a whistleblower, man. They can't touch me, innit? You know what I mean? I'm protected by civil rights and that.
Civil rights.
Big up Alf says smash the likes, and big up Obey for the gifted. Professional Idiot with the 5 says Arsenal bottling like all London teams. It's the history of London. By the way, check out FNGLB, great soccer YouTuber. Big up MCFC lads and Hugh. Dave Rocky with the 10 says, do City need any more motivation to go and win the league? No games are granted in this league. Need all City players dialed in and focused. If we keep our momentum, we can win all of our games. We don't need any more motivation. I think, to be honest, we're in a good position. We're in a good position in the league. I feel like as a club, we're in a great position. This is the best position we've felt. Morale, happiness. We're all together. All the City fans are united right now. We're all talking in the same sort of thing. You know what I mean? The players seem dialed in. There doesn't seem to be any fucking problems in the dressing room. I think getting rid of Cancelo was probably the best thing that we ever did this year. And everything, we're just going boom. We're going one way. I mean, we just got to stay focused, but don't get carried away. Focus on the next game, which is Sheffield United. You know what I'm saying?
Hey!
Hey!
Have you got access to the soundboard? We need a few of the whatever they're called.
Yeah. How we doing? I literally just walked in and I seen that you were still live. I was like, what? How are they fucking still live?
This is a big day, bro.
It is a big day. I watched it on my phone, innit, whilst mixing and gassed. I mean, I was gutted that they bottled the lead, but still, absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, you take it. That's what I said. Like, all right, I'm gonna be on one hand. I would like fucking hell, Southampton. Like, what the fuck have you just done? Also, like, low key, it would have been sick if Southampton won for the relegation battle.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna sit here and say fucking hell, Southampton, you dickheads, because ultimately they've got us a point. And they've completely changed the landscape. They've changed the landscape, as did West Ham. They've changed the landscape of this Premier League race. So GG's. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, drawing the last 3 games, terrible form, isn't it?
Well, what did you say then, lads? How many goals have they conceded?
Yeah, they conceded 7 goals and dropped 6 points in 10 days or something.
That's wild.
That is wild.
We need to win, If we win, it puts so much less pressure.
Yeah. Now, if we win, mate, I don't know if it's curtains, but
not far.
We'd be 2 points behind him with 2 games in hand.
It's them
2
games in hand.
Yeah.
Them games in hand. We need to win them.
Well, what's mad is we could literally draw both the games in hand.
Yeah.
If we beat Arsenal, we could draw both the games in hand and still be top.
Well, you know what I like? You know what I like, lads? You know what I like about it is if you beat West Ham, you can draw against Brighton and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Which
Correct.
I think is massive.
That's major.
We're in a great position. We are in a fantastic position that we probably didn't expect to be in right now, did we? Like if you'd said to me, or if I'd said to you, just at the back of that international break, that we'd be in this position right now, would you believe me?
No.
Yeah.
We'd have taken, like everyone was saying, Arsenal aren't going to drop points again all season. They said they can even lose at the Etihad. They're going to win the league by 2 points even. Well, they've dropped 6 points.
Yeah, lads, everyone was looking at the Newcastle game.
The Chelsea home game, because the Chelsea basically got nothing to play for.
Everyone was looking at the games after the Man City game. Not this game. Not West Ham. Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, Liverpool might do something, but Liverpool are pretty shit this season, so they probably won't. But there was always that chance. So there's no real surprise that they dropped points. Then it was just a case of, okay, they'll get 2 wins. Then it's the City game. And then we have another chance again with the Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea. They put themselves in such a difficult position, man. Unbelievable.
I messaged Denver before the game, and I said easy win. I said you should batter these. I said that Southampton have been shit.
I thought 6-0.
Same. I thought the bottom, and then especially at 2-1. I know they went 2-0 up in it, but then at 2-1, I was like, yeah, they'll do it now.
It's 8-2 now. I thought it was just going to collapse.
Yeah, same. Well, they looked like they were going to collapse, but
then
getting that 3-1 was major.
They kept breaking the play up, and as soon as it went 3-1, just looked to my brother and said, they're not going to score 3 now. It got to about 80 minutes, and they nearly did. Honestly, they would have been cursed words, man. But it's major, that.
Unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I did think that they'd win today, Arsenal. I said it all day on the streams. I've been saying all day to you, bro, that if Southampton get beat today, that's it. They're done. Yeah. Because they'd be 4 points off safety, and everyone else would have a game in hand. So
that's the worst thing.
They couldn't lose the game. So it's no real surprise that they did well and they got a point because they had to get something.
The worst thing for me, though, at 3-3, I just thought Southampton need to win as well. I thought they were just going to throw it forwed and end up bottling it, and thankfully they didn't. But it's honestly a loss for both teams, in my opinion. I don't think a draw really does anything.
It doesn't help either of them, does it?
Now they're now 5, 6. They're 2 points. Oh no, sorry, they're now 3 points off safety. But they've played an extra game than everyone. If they would have been on 26 points. They would have been 19th, but only a point behind Everton and Forest. A win for them would have been absolutely huge.
Wild.
Before the game, they're massive outsiders to stay up, and they've obviously got a point they wouldn't have expected, but the win would have been major.
They're still going to take a huge amount of motivation.
They'll still take a lot of positives from that, definitely. To go to Emirates and not bottle it like that, like obviously the pressure would have been massive, and I imagine the atmosphere was insane at that point. Like
you know what's mad, right? I don't know how many subs Arsenal made. I don't really know if it made a difference, but so the guy got concussed, Bednarek.
Yeah.
Southampton tactically decided they didn't want to use a concussion sub. They just used a normal sub on him because they didn't want to give Arsenal a 6th sub. I just thought, that is mad. Like,
is that the rule?
Yeah. So basically, if you get concussed, you can basically, I don't know, they get like a paper slip or whatever it is. I don't know if it's like a virtual thing. You can basically get a free sub because you're concussed, because you don't want people playing on if they're like knackered. So if you use up a concussion sub, Arsenal then get a free sub. And they decided they didn't want to use a concussion one. They just used up a normal sub so that Arsenal didn't get an extra one.
Whoa.
The tactics are mad. I don't know how many subs they did.
Well, I mean, that's big IQ. Taking off Lavia, though, was fucking dumb.
Yeah, it was.
That is
you were smashing it as well, Lavia. Look,
yeah.
Let me just go through some more super chats then, guys. Big up to Brand Holt with the 5. Says Arteta spent the season trying to win the league. Pep spent the season turning City into the undisputed best team in the world. From Brand Holt. Faison with the 2 says Akanji is replying to fan accounts. Lads excited. Well, they all are, clearly, because Haaland's been on it. Akanji's on it. I'm sure that some other players are on it. The only thing I'd say is, let's fucking go again tomorrow. Do not let it slip tomorrow, because even though it's the FA Cup and it's not the Premier League, if we get beat tomorrow, and I would even say if it gets past full time, if it goes to extra time or penalties, Arsenal will start to sense weakness. What we need to do tomorrow now, we need to blow them away, really.
Yeah.
Which frustratingly, I don't think is going to happen.
You can't underestimate them either as like a championship side.
Yeah, that's what I said.
99.9% promoted, and they're a good side. Like they're probably better than a few teams at the bottom of the Prem, to be fair. So
yeah, I think it's a sweaty game, and I don't think we could take it for granted at all. I don't think we should be like basically. You need to show them respect, not too much respect, but you need to show them respect because there's a reason that they're in the semi-final. So,
well, they've beaten some very good teams this year, and they've beaten some very good teams along the way in this competition. Didn't they knock out Tottenham?
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah. They're a good team. They're a good team. We got to make sure we're up for it. Obeid says, professional idiot, arrest Dr. Footy with the super chat. Lewis with a 13 months says, MCFC lads, let them cook is incredible. There you go, bro. There you go. Dave Rocky with the 10 says, I just can't see Arsenal winning all of the games. City away, Newcastle away, Chelsea home, Brighton home, Forest away. People will say it's an easy game versus Forest, but they drew with us and fight in relegation. Very true. I agree. Mm-hmm. You know what's actually funny is Chelsea and Brighton, depends on where Brighton are at the time in the season, could actually turn out to be the easier games there because of season state. City are fighting for the title. Newcastle are fighting for top 4. Chelsea are fighting for fuck all. The only thing that can happen there is if Lampard gets the players up for it because he tries to instill into the Chelsea players that they can't let Arsenal win the league.
Chelsea are going for the don't let Arsenal win the League Cup.
Yeah, I was going to say they don't care about City.
Yeah.
Chelsea they don't care about us, but Arsenal is like it's a massive game. Like if they can stop Arsenal winning the league.
Yeah, Brighton. You know, if they have a bit of a fall off in the next week or so, and their European hopes look kind of dead, then you know the players could turn up to the beaches. And Forest are fighting relegation, as you say. So it'll be interesting to see that one. David Hartley, member for 29 months, says, boom, what a win. Sorry, no, he didn't. He said, boom, a win on Wednesday. It puts a hand on the trophy, in my opinion. We can't settle for anything less. There's still a lot of football to go. Viva Ruben Sales. Professional idiot coming in with the 10 gifted memberships. Guys, make sure if you want it.
I love that noise.
And clicked opt in. Click opt in and then get active in the chat, man. And then you've got a chance of receiving one. Big up to a professional idiot coming in with a 10 gifted. Farhad says, Jesus missed easy chances. Spider-Man is way better. You know what's funny, actually? I was down in London doing some filming with Robbie for AFTV. And we did one about was selling Jesus and Zinchenko a mistake. And I said, selling Jesus wasn't a mistake because Alvarez is better. And he went, what?
Oh, he was having none of it.
Alvarez is better. I was like, yeah, Alvarez is better. Alvarez presses just as much as Jesus. And I actually argue that during the end of Jesus' career, I don't think his press game was as good as it was at the beginning of his career. I don't know why. That's just my opinion. And he's a better finisher than Jesus. Simple. And I've said all season that at some point you'll get in a big game and Jesus will miss big chances. And unfortunately, I don't have any hate against the guy. I really like Jesus, as I've said before. But ultimately, he's just not clinical. Do you remember when Aguero was out for 9 games with an injury?
Yeah.
This is before his knees went or whatever. And Jesus came in 9 games. I think he scored 1 goal in 9 or something like that. He's just not.
The offsides. He misses chances, but he's off. The amount of goals I've celebrated, and this guy's offside. Like there was one against United, one against Spurs. He's not quite there in the big moments for me.
I think for me, Gabby was just too inconsistent. He'd go games where he'd score a couple on the bounce, and then he'd dip for ages again. Like Lewis said, he'll go 9 games out without scoring a goal. Just inconsistency there, which I think cost him massively.
Even when he was scoring big goals, Gabby, like in Real Madrid Champions League, you still never felt this guy was going to be our guy going forward. You never felt he was going to be our main talisman. Like it all just comes back to the point that if you're not clinical enough, Pep's not going to keep you. Like he kind of failed in a way, didn't he? He was brought in to be Aguero's successor. He couldn't do that, so we had to move him out to the wing and give him a wider sort of role. And then we ultimately said we don't want someone like this taking up a space in the squad when we can go and get a Haaland and an Alvarez. So I think you would have every right to say that Alvarez is better, man, because push comes to shove, he's simply more clinical. That's what a number 9's meant to do.
Agreed. I with a 2 says, calm down, guys. I feel like the Ake injury is more imp than we think. Treat it as if they won, and we should focus on the next win. We'll have to wait and see on Ake. Apparently, he's having a scan tomorrow. But yeah, no, I agree on the other thing, bro. Let's focus on tomorrow. You know what I mean? We're getting gassed now because it's a title race, and when your opponents drop points, you get gassed. But let's focus on tomorrow. Craig with a 5 said, up the Saints, Wembley bound in the morning. Let's get to that final. Safe journey down there, Craig.
This is great.
Professional Police with the 5 says, thank you, LB, to confessing to your crime. I'll be happy to arrest you soon. Back to prison, LB. Welcome, JP. It's about time you show up.
True.
Taking payments off youth football teams to influence his game.
Hey, bro. Barcelona, LB. I mean, taking those payments, you know. Simpad says, sorry for being pessimistic, but if Arsenal win all their games, they can still win the league. So I'm not that confident. Need Rico to start tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, that's actually, to be honest with you, bro, that's not a bad way of thinking about it, because then what that does is it makes you think, nah, we have to be on it. And now, obviously, lads are saying, and I agree, that I don't think Arsenal will win every game for the rest of the season, even if they beat City. But thinking that they will is probably the way to go, because that then gets you in the zone of, nah, we need to keep going every game, winning.
It's a good mindset to have that.
It's mental. They had 50 points after 19 games, and it'll be interesting to see how many they get in the second 19 games. Do you know what I mean? Because
this is something that we all said, though, isn't it? Can they replicate that first half of the season? More than likely not. But can City get better than their first half of the season? Absolutely, and that's what's happened. We have got better. They've got worse.
And that's exactly what I said. But just quickly, that's exactly what I said. I said this before when it was just me and Hugh. When I stepped in for Hugh on Big Six back in January, and I said, after 19 games, Arsenal had lost 1 and drawn 2, and City, I think, had drawn 3, lost 3. And I said, in the second half of the season, are Arsenal more likely to drop more than points in 3 games? And the answer to that is probably yes. And for City, are they likely to not drop points in 6 games or less? The answer to that is probably yes. So the second half of the season, for me, you was always going to get City closing the gap. The question was, how much would we close the gap by? And obviously now it's looking pretty good. Sorry, Hugh, what was you saying, bro?
I was going to say basically what you were always saying. It's all well 50 points at whatever stage of the season it was, and playing the best football they've played in a long time. That's all fine and well. That's beautiful. But can you do it when the pressure's really on? My whole thing was just stay on their coattails close enough, within arm's length, while we were kind of inconsistent. We were struggling a little bit. Stay within our arm's length, so that when the pressure's really on, it's not so far gone that we can't catch them. Because I knew we'd click into gear at some point. This team is too good to not have clicked into gear at some stage this season, and it's what's happening. It's happened now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just on the Gabby talk, by the way, JP, not me, the other one, Joe Pierre just put in the chat as well that Gabby's now the biggest XG underperformer in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, I've seen that. We had a super chat about it before.
Crazy that
he's got 9 goals and his XG is 13.4. If you're
not clinical and you're not consistently clinical, you won't play for a title-winning team. I'm sorry, you just won't. Every team needs a clinical player. Our seasons where we won with a false 9 was freaky. It just highlights it further how we won the league without a number 9, because we had so many players chipping in with goals week in, week out. But the bottom line is, to win a league, generally, you need a really, really clinical striker, and Jesus wasn't that. So that's why we were happy to part ways with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. Big up Mark here says, Wednesday, let's rock the Etihad, be vocal and get behind the lads. Are you going to that, Hugh?
I am.
Lads, you're going in it?
Yeah, get down. Anyone in the chat, make sure they're at 6:30 outside the ground.
There you go.
Just me and you brought out the plastics.
There you go. Half 6, get down there, man. Muzzardino says, can we just accept Bazuni's performance? He took so much time off the clock and frustrated the Arsenal players. He got into their heads. Yeah, top blue. What a legend he is. Get a trophy outside the Etihad, bro.
Irish boy as well, huh?
Yeah. CMZY with a 2 said Chelsea are the best.
Sean, go well, mate. I like the delusion.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to think it, haven't they?
Yeah, he's been on the session as well. Kaiser says, I love the mentality we're showing. Shows that we've been there, done it. There's blood in the water and the sharks smell it. Shout out to Peppers.
Peppers.
Turkey says, who would have thought in January and February that we're going to be on a serious treble charge in April? Mad season. Bro, do you remember how fucking bad it was? It was awful, wasn't it?
Team against Spurs were 2-0 down at half time. And I thought that was the one, man. Like we lost them away, the home game, 4-2. We won, but 2-0 down at half time. I think we'd have been 8 points off them or something. At one point as well, they were 8 points clear. We played the same number of games, and then they lost to somebody or whatever. We beat them, sorry. But yeah, I don't know how.
Crazy, isn't it?
Mad how shit changes. Big up Dave with a 5 says Simon Bajowski said Rodri can probably expect to start tomorrow after Pep said Phillips is coming short. Really worried for Rodri, man. Is that what I've not seen? I've not seen the embargo quotes because I've been doing this.
I've seen people in the chat saying it just then. I've not seen any of the embargo quotes either.
Well,
to be fair.
I've got to say, I just put this out there, said it today, but if Phillips can't start tomorrow, then I think we've got to have a serious conversation about his future, man. Because
I think City will be having that serious conversation. We heard earlier this year that there's already talks around City that they're kind of weighing up just cutting ties with Phillips and not giving him another year and just saying like, you know what, maybe it's time to just move him on. Didn't work out.
This guy could rock up, play 4 games, win a treble, and go back to Leeds. And
I know.
That would be better than like. Did you see Mendy's record with trophies? Like that guy had like. Honestly, he averaged like a trophy of like 8 games or something stupid. Yeah. Phillips could win it. Can you imagine that? This guy's going to rock back up in Leeds just with a few medals. And yeah, lads,
back off my holiday. My year sabbatical.
How was your season, guys? Stay up? Just want
to stay up on now. Bit up City all the way. Says maybe I'm too arrogant, but I'm much more focused on the Champions League. Too many Madrid fans are so confident against us. I've never seen a team in sports history have the luck they have. I don't know, man. You know what? I'm kind of like just spreading my eggs around. You know what I mean? I ain't going fucking for this or that. You know what I mean? Just like I'm focused on the next game. But I'm not dialed into one particular competition. I'm just like, let's just fucking focus on each game and just take each game as it comes. You know what I mean? Like, because what happens is, bro, what happens if you focus on the Champions League, but then you could get a dodgy refereeing decision, as you said. They get a lot of luck. They could get lucky, and then suddenly, boom, you're at the competition again in the semi-final, and you're thinking, fucking hell, shouldn't really have done that. That's why for me, I'm just like, nah, take each one as it comes. Let's go tomorrow. And let's treat Sheffield United like they're Real Madrid. That's what we need to be doing, man. And putting them away.
Yeah. You've just got to look at City in 2016. We put all our eggs in the Champions League. We had such a thin squad. We absolutely stumbled over the line to qualify for the Champions League. And then you play Real Madrid and lose 1-0 over 2 legs. You can't. There's this idea that you can just kind of like focus all on one competition or whatever. If you've got a really thin squad and you kind of got a few games left, not much to play for, you might rest players or whatever for a big game. But City fighting in 3 competitions, there's no way we can kind of just focus on one. It's never going to work like that.
Yeah, 100%. Joe Griffiths with the 2 says MCFC lads, JP, Irish LB, and corrupt Ref P. Yes.
Irish LB.
Corrupt B. What the fuck is all that about? Johnny says, 1 game at a time, boys. Keep your heads on, stay composed, and go win them all. No settling for draws. Let's go. Energy gang. Professional police says, Dr. Footy shall be arrested soon. The FBI's involvement will help massively. The criminal weirdo shall not escape. The menace shall be sacked. For professional police. King A says, yes, lads. Does anyone know why Zinit is always getting subbed off in every Arsenal game?
Because they just keep losing and drawing or whatever, mate. That's why.
Yeah, they had to sacrifice someone to get another striker on the pitch, didn't they? Also, Zinni didn't track his man on the corner.
Yeah, I think as well, people are starting to realise that he wasn't as good as everyone was making out at the beginning of the season. When everyone at the beginning of the season were like, Zinchenko's fucking men, you know what I mean? He's like, he's a good player. But I think he's doing what he's been doing at Manchester City for the last 2 years. Like, what are you talking about? And everyone was making out like he was doing something completely different to what he'd been doing at Manchester City. But he always had his issues. Defensively, one-on-one defensively, he's not the best. Tracking man, he's probably not the best. And like I say, for me personally, I think his passion has been too much, and I think it's actually the opposite that they've needed. I think they've needed calm heads. I remember one game. It was at the Everton game at Goodison Park. I think they drew 1-1. Can't remember. I think
Lost 1-0.
Lost 1-0.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was that game. And, there was like 3 or 4 minutes to go. So there's still time to get yourself back into the game. And he was kicking off with players, kicking off with the ref. And I was like, nah, that's not what you need, man. And obviously Arsenal fans lapped it up. They were loving it. You know what I mean? Look at the passion. Love it. Actually, what you really need in that situation is calm heads. Lads,
that's what you need.
Yeah.
Not to be smacking
exactly.
Smack people. And...
4 minutes to go, boys. Everyone calm down. Let's focus on what we need to do. Let's go and get a goal, as Lad says. They've got into this thing of passion mentality will get us the title. And right now it's not working. Jerry says, not worried about Ake being out versus Arsenal. The squad just hits different, is a different animal. Always someone different rising to the occasion. Love all you lads for your passion. LFG, big up Jerry. Sam Martin with 6 months. Yes, guys. The end of the season is going to be crazy. 1 game at a time. But if Saliba really is out for the season, then that's huge. I agree, man, because we absolutely fucking ruined Rob Holding at the Etihad, didn't we? I
genuinely, I think that's giving Arsenal fans nightmares. The idea of Rob Holding versus Haaland, because he should have been sent off in that FA Cup game, and he got taken off at half time, didn't he?
I've seen some weird takes from Arsenal fans about that. I've seen some Arsenal fans trying to convince themselves that Holding did a good job. He was taken off at half time because he was getting bullied. Yeah,
he got took off because he was that shit.
I seen it this morning, bro. When I was watching that Saliba video this morning. I can't remember which one it was, but they were like, "Yeah, he actually did all right against City," and it was like, "Oh yeah, he got a harsh yellow card." I was like, "The guy should have been fucking sent off after about 30 minutes. What are you talking about?" So yeah, bizarre. Isn't it weird? Two people could look at a game and just come to a completely different conclusion.
You'd have to fancy record chasing Haaland to do a good job on Wednesday.
Yeah, because if he gets a goal, it's a record.
It's the record.
Well, he's now
got gets a hat trick. It's the other one, isn't it?
Yeah, nice no worries, lads.
Nice
Appreciate you jumping on, man.
Nice one.
In a
bit. Just got a few more super chats. Let me get through these. King Kaiser with a 2 says, "Do y'all think our May 7th fixture will get moved?" And that is Leeds. I don't see why it get moved, bro.
It's getting moved. I think it is getting moved for Champions League for some reason.
Because there's only 2 days. Is that what it is? Is it
when they're going to move it to? Though?
Play on the 7th, play on the 9th.
Yeah, but when they're going to move it to?
Could they not play on the Saturday? Oh no, because that'd be Wednesday, Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll move it to a Saturday then. Yeah, maybe, bro. Maybe we'll have to keep our eye out for that one. Faizan says, "I hope we start a very strong team tomorrow." He's not going to do that, bro. Brandon says, "Hi, Jordan. Love you from Varsi. Won't let me super chat on the other account. Common YouTube." And Professional Police with the final super chat says, "Let's take a moment of silence for United's treble winning season. Look, it's looking good, man. The treble is on. It is on. I know some people won't want to hear that. But the facts are it's on. We've got to do our job tomorrow. And tomorrow is one of them games where you talk about the treble and then you go and lose the next game. You know what I mean? So we got to make sure that we dial in tomorrow. I am a little bit worried about the team that he's going to put out. I am. I can't lie. I am worried because he's going to heavily rotate.
I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. About the team. I just hope it's not too changed. I do think he's going to go ham, though.
I have a feeling he won't. I have a feeling we'll see some regular starters playing tomorrow that we didn't expect.
I think we will see. I think it'll be very mixed. I think players like Walker will be back in the side. I think maybe Rico Lewis potentially.
It sounds like Phillips won't get a game.
He said, this is what he said. He said, someone asked him, how close is Calvin Phillips to challenge Rodri? He says he still needs a little bit of time for rhythm. The rhythm in short spaces. We miss until the best of Calvin. This is the reason he doesn't have a lot of minutes.
That makes sense. We knew he was off it. So,
yeah. I don't know. I mean, you get 5 subs, right? You get 5 subs. Fucking Haaland's not going to start. It's going to be Alvarez, right? So Mahrez is going to play. He's not played that much. Foden's probably going to play, whether he starts or comes off the bench. So Laporte's going to play, and Ortega's going to play. So if you look at the team, you don't need to sub off Ortega, right? Laporte doesn't need subbing off because he's hardly played any minutes, so you can play the full 90 minutes.
Kyle Walker.
Walker doesn't need subbing off. He's played the full 90 minutes. That's 3. Then you're gonna have to play a Kanji, Stones, or Diaz. So you probably want to play, I don't know, 60 minutes, one of them, and then sub them off. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to play, that's one that you're going to have to sub off. Then the left back situation, you're going to probably have to play, unless he does like a madness with the centre backs, Rico Lewis or Gomez maybe, you'd have to sub them off. It sounds like Rodri's going to start, so you want to sub him off. You then go into midfield, Bernardo, Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, that's probably 2, right? And then Grealish, 5. Because you can leave Alvarez on, you can leave Mahrez on.
Yeah.
So that's your 5 players. And then just sub them all off. Try and get the game won. Sub them all off if the game is won. Obviously, it might not be, and I don't expect it to be an easy game. I think it's going to be difficult. But if it is easy, it does turn out to be 3-4-0 up after 60 minutes. Sub all the players off. And then just, keep it fresh. Wow. Unbelievable. So just to recap, guys, let me get the table up again. Where we're at. This Premier League season.
Still second, but
still second, but now it's in our hands.
In our hands. Actually, in our hands for once.
We don't have to win on Wednesday. We can draw the game on Wednesday and win the 2 games in hand. He's still top of the league. Even if Arsenal was to beat us on Wednesday, so long as we win our 2 games in hand, we'd only be a point behind them. So we'd only need them to drop points in a single game. So tonight it's really give the incentive to see. It really, really has.
If we can win that game, it's absolutely major. And I don't want to look too far ahead, obviously, because we do have a game tomorrow. But it's hard not to when Arsenal just drop points. Like, that is absolutely major if we can win that game. If we win against Arsenal, I think we'll win the league.
If we beat Arsenal, I think it does go down to the wire. I think we will before the last day.
Yeah,
I probably agree with you there, bro. Because look at the
we'd have a draw and a loss in the bank, couldn't we? If we beat Arsenal.
Yeah, look at this. I just don't. If we beat them right on Wednesday, that's 4 games in a row that they've not won in the Premier League. You're telling me that they're going to go from 4 games in a row without a win to beating Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton? It's unlikely, isn't it?
If they beat us, they could. I think if they beat us, they're more likely to do it because of what they'll take from that. If they beat us, they could. Yeah, they beat us. If they don't beat us, I refuse to believe they're winning all 3 of those games.
I agree. I
was looking at our fixtures there. Should we beat Sheffield United tomorrow, and please God, we beat Real Madrid too? We have potentially 13 games left this season. Imagine that. We have 13 games left. Win them all, you win the treble. If you were told that back in October, November, I would have said you're crazy. 13 games from a treble. And the scary part is the way this team's playing, we could win all 13. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but we could.
What would that unbeaten run go to? What's our unbeaten run now?
We're on 14 now, isn't it? Is it 14?
14 now.
Yeah,
27 game unbeaten run.
we have to be gone. We have to go down as the best team in Premier League history.
27 game unbeaten run. What a way! Yeah, that stinks.
15.
Maybe lose 1-0 at the Burnabout and then beat them in the Etihad.
15 it is, Hugh.
What is it?
15 unbeaten.
What, currently?
Yeah, we're on a 15-match unbeaten streak.
And then there's potentially 13 games still to play.
According to Hugh, there's 13
games
to
play. So there's 13 games still to play. That would be 28, innit? 28 game unbeaten run is absolutely major. That's a mad form if that was to happen. It's like unheard of.
Yeah. Big up to Vaz. He says if City beat Arsenal, City will win the league, in my opinion. Yeah, I just think you'd be 2 points behind him. You'd be 2 points behind him with 2 games in hand, and you've got superior goal difference. It would mean that you could literally draw against Chelsea and Brighton. If you beat one of them, you got Brentford on the last day of the season. You don't even have to go there because that's going to be a difficult game, by the way. Brentford on the last day of the season, Jesus. So
that is difficult. Yeah.
Do the business tomorrow, lads. Get the win. Let's get to a final. Yeah. Let's watch United get beat off Brighton on Sunday, and then we'll say to Brighton, look, we'll
shake hands.
Yeah, shake hands. Let us beat you in the Premier League, and we'll let you beat us in the FA Cup. And then once we get to the FA Cup final, we'll be like, ha! Not really.
Not really. We're like, yeah, let us score 2 goals and then we'll let you come back, and it'll be the ultimate comeback in the FA Cup. And like, yeah, no worries, mate. We'll score them 2 goals. And then we'll be like, nah, mate, got you. Yeah, you've been hustled. Psych. Yeah.
It's insane. Right, cool. I think we'll leave it there, man. Big up, boys. Good stream.
Vaz in the chat. Did we read that out? The £2 from Vaz. It says if City beat Arsenal. Yeah. Buzzing. Decent. New Gawk City said I'm going to destroy my house if we win the treble. Mate, if we win the treble, I'm going to knock down this shed, rebuild it just to knock it back down again. And smash up the gaff.
You know what's mad? Yeah, I've got 2 bottles of champagne, actual champagne, not prosecco, ready for potential trophy lifts. I'm thinking about I might have to invest in a 3rd bottle here, boys.
Yeah, bro, the 3rd bottle needs to be invested.
I'm like, fuck. I might have to get a 3rd bottle. I did not expect this. You know, in fucking January, I was like, I won't need any of them at this rate. You know, I might need to invest more stonks. So we'll have to see.
What is it? One for each trophy, is it?
1 for each trophy, yeah.
That's
it
it.
is.
Well, we'll do a video of the 3 of us standing there with a bottle each, spraying them everywhere.
Yeah.
That'll have to be Prosecco. Right, cool. There we go, lads. Mad night. Big up Arsenal for doing us a solid, giving us something to speak about, making everyone gassed. You know, it's still on. The race is still on. I ain't gonna start murking them in it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's still on, and they beat us on Wednesday. It's back in their hands again. So everyone's gassed, but they only need to win 1 game of football to take it back into their hands. Now they do need to win the game, but if they win the game, it's then back in their hands. So it's not like season's over here, lads. Like it's still in Arsenal's hands. But yeah, it's looking good. We just need to focus on tomorrow. Let's get the job done. Live watch along tomorrow. You know what it is. Loads of content for you if you want to watch some stuff right now. If you're an Xtra Club member, go and watch the opposition fan preview that I did today with the Sheffield United way. Big video, good video, really interesting to watch. You've got the Kovacic video that we did earlier on today. You've got Hugh's matchday vlog from Bayern Munich. So you got loads of stuff that you can watch. And yeah, live watch along tomorrow. Make sure you join us. FA Cup season. Let's fucking get it. Peace out, boys. 85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code XTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.
Well.